Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is episode 115 of Survival of the Fitted. I'm Joe Williams. I am joined alongside my co-host extraordinaire via Zoom call, Ian Pierno. How are you doing today, my guy?
Skirt. It's been a minute. It's been a week since we've done this. We took Thanksgiving off. How was your Thanksgiving? You have any turkey?
I had plenty of turkey. And I had good turkey too. Because I'm not going to hold you. I've been seeing people bash like turkey online, talking about turkey dry, turkey this, that, and the third. Guys, who's cooking your Thanksgiving dinner? Like, we throwing it down.
It's effort to make turkey good. It's effort. Because like turkey, I don't want to say raw, but like unseasoned turkey is very mediocre. But like my last Thanksgiving in North Carolina, we had a Popeyes turkey and my dad seasoned it and shit. It was fire.
Yeah, I was put onto the Popeyes turkey game this year. I seen like an orange bag of Popeyes turkey and I was like, what is going on, bro? I was like, I thought it was chicken, but either way, Thanksgiving was solid. No complaints.
One of my favorite sound bites ever from this podcast was when we were podcasting before Thanksgiving last year. And we were talking about like what you're supposed to wear at the dinner table and like, you know, the Thanksgiving uniform. Yeah. And your answer was anything that whatever is most likely to like piss off your uncles or whatever is like most likely to like stir up a debate.
Yeah.
Did you stick to that?
I
rule
didn't.
This year?
I'll say this. I pulled up to Thanksgiving dinner with my brother, and my brother's a fashionable guy. I'm not gonna hold you. There's only a couple people I feel like genuinely are not more fashionable, but more stylish than me. And my brother and my dad are those two people. We could probably get him on, but he'd probably be a cool episode. Those are two people. So my brother and my dad, I feel like are genuinely more stylish than I am. So I didn't necessarily. I had like cool clothes that I had bought the day before. He pulled up with like sparkly nail polish, and my Uncle Frank just like gave it to him. Like he was on the couch just like with his nail polish, and my Uncle Frank was like, "Oh, Sabian, that's so cute. Like my girlfriend used to wear the same nail polish." He was just giving it to him, and I was like, I was getting flashbacks of when I was like, "Yeah, I did mention this last year." It's pretty funny.
So you're like one of us can hold it down this year. Yeah, life imitating. All right, I'm dead.
Literally, right? But I had the best fit of the night of the dinner, so I rest in that.
What was it?
I had this. It's like a flannel that was like upcycled that I got at this fair, and it was made out of like rice bags. It's really cool. So I had this flannel. Yeah, this lady, she cuts like rice, like old rice bags, and she like puts them on this flannel. I can't even describe it, but it's really cool. And it's like one of those 101. It's obviously a custom piece. So I feel how cool because people are like, "Oh, where'd you get that from?" I'm like, you can't get it, dog. If you wasn't there, you don't know. So I had this flannel on. Then I had actually shout out to Arvin. I remember he mentioned a long time ago when he was on this podcast, Uniqlo has like the best pants. They have like these like crop pants. So I went to Uniqlo and I was asleep on Uniqlo. So I go to Uniqlo and my eyes are just like, my mind is blown. I'm like, bro, the pants here are so fire. Plus the way that you like pay for everything is like so futuristic. So I went to Uniqlo and I got a bunch of slacks. And then I went to the Doc Martens store and I got like some cool docs and I put those on and it was what it was. Pretty hard. I recycled that same outfit like a couple nights later at dinner. Like it was actually really tough.
No, I'm all about recycling outfits. Like my 7-Eleven guy will see me wear the same outfit like 3 days in a row.
I gotta change it up a little bit though. Like I put like a bag. I wore like a bag with it like the next night.
Oh yeah. A few nights later. A baseball hat or so. I do shit like that too.
For sure.
Respect.
Yeah.
You remember Odd Future?
100%.
Yeah. I sat by Taco from Odd Future.
Taco was the dude who had like the really big hair. Or unless I'm tripping.
Yeah. He's on Dave. He's a DJ. He's like the best friend on Dave.
All right, for sure. I'm not really too big on Dave, but
I don't know. That was my Thanksgiving. It was a thing.
I think I've seen him homie before.
Like out and about.
I'm not gonna. When we went to Delilah that night, unless I'm mistaken, it was like Earl Sweatshirt. And I could have sworn that he like walked in with Earl or alongside Earl Sweatshirt that night. Unless I'm mistaken, I could be mistaken, but
well,
maybe.
I was definitely roofied that night, so I don't remember. But that'd be pretty cool if he did. But me and my homie Lauren were like, wouldn't it be so funny and quirky if we went bar hopping in like West Hollywood and on Thanksgiving? Because then we were like, the bars will probably be serving Thanksgiving food, which is funny. And then we'll talk to like people that are there and like hear their stories of why we're there. It's like, oh, did you like break up did you get into a big argument with your family last night? Oh, you
Yeah.
got divorced yesterday, like stuff like that. And we would like hear some interesting stories, but instead just like all the bars were closed and it was really sad and none of them had Thanksgiving food. And then we went to one bar in Venice that did have Thanksgiving food. My mashed potatoes were mad cold. It was a whole thing.
Oh.
Anyway, fucking Young Taco was at the one sports bar. We were watching the Giants game. We are like, what in the hell?
You gotta like. Why was he there though? Why was he?
No
I wonder
idea.
why
It
he
was like
wasn't
him
at
and like 4 other people. It was like a little group, and of course, like I know him from like Odd Future, but my homie Lauren was like, "Oh, that's Kendall Jenner's friend." She was like, "Let's talk to him." Right. She's like, "Let's talk to him, and then we can get an invite to the Kardashian Thanksgiving."
Oh yeah, great plan.
I was
great
like,
plan. Very realistic.
Yeah, we didn't talk at all. She claims he looked at her dog a few times, but whatever. You want to talk about some basketball fashion?
Let's talk about some basketball fashion. That was one of those moments where you just like cue the sounds off. I wish we had a soundboard, bro. But I guess that's not really podcasting. That's more like just content in general. Talk about basketball fashion. Yeah.
You just want to ad-lib the podcast?
Or you could talk about basketball fashion and I'll just like give moral support in the background as you introduce the topic.
Let's talk about basketball fashion.
Yo. For sure. Skirt. Okay, so whatever. Basketball fashion. You posted last night, unless I'm mistaken.
Yeah, Nick Young. Nick Young's tweeting again.
Look, man, I'm not gonna hold you. There's a lot of different forms of Nick Young. Twitter Nick Young as like playing the role of like the godfather of the swag of the league is probably my favorite form of Nick Young.
Yeah, Nick Young is like LeagueFits' uncle, basically. Yeah, at least he thinks he is. Like Prophet P, Swaggy P. He is like, you know how like the old like Scottie Pippen and shit will talk about how like the new era is not really like that. He's like the uncle, like the cranky uncle of like on court basketball. That's kind of what like Nick Young has become to the LeagueFits world. Like he is like nobody will quite stack up to him.
Yeah, if you ask him, he's the best US athlete of all time.
Yeah, I mean Nick Young is one of the goats, and his nickname is Swaggy P. Like, yeah. Anyway, so it actually started in the LeagueFits comment section.
Do we have the receipts?
Of course I do.
Okay, you put the receipts.
We posted Tyrese Halliburton walking into the Staples Center. He's wearing like a cool jacket and like really baggy gray sweatpants, kind of Allen Iverson era. I posted it, caption, baggy gray sweats are back. Nick Young says, "This how you know people can't dress. They wear skinny jeans last week. Now they're wearing baggy clothes. I hate stylists." And then he took it to Twitter like a few minutes later. And he basically said the same thing. He was like, "Y'all NBA stylists need help. Y'all can't wear skinny jeans last week and try to wear baggy clothes this week to fit in because it trendy. Let Swaggy help you out, please."
Let's talk about it. So my thing is this, y'all. Style, like, so this is directed from a Tyrese Halliburton outfit. I don't know if this is necessarily like a sub tweet shot at like, was it Olivia, whatever her name is, Olivia. I think that I'm reaching. Friend of the pod. I think I'm reaching on that. I don't think that was directed to him.
I think Nick was generalizing. I think he was generalizing. Everybody. Yeah,
but even in that like general statement. So I think he's more so just hating on the fact that they're like riding the wave of trends. I think everybody can agree that riding the wave is not the way to go.
Yeah.
I think this is just what kind of he's getting at here.
It was funny not to like look for receipts, but I this is at like 3 a.m. last night, by the way. But I'm going through Nick Young's like old fit pics through like Getty and his Instagram, and I'm like, all right, let's find the point where Nick transitioned from skinny jeans to baggy jeans. He's true. He never switched up. Like Nick Young was always swaggy, just wearing regular ass pants right in the middle, like his entire career, bruh. I was like, damn, I gotta like run this man some respect. Like he really meant it. Like Nick Young was never really on any trends. Like there was never like a Nick Young fit pic where he was like, I don't know, wearing a Miri. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he never really wore. any of like the trendy pieces. I mean, you could say Supreme was trendy, but he was also wearing the Supreme pieces that none of the other basketball players were wearing. It was like the fucking like motocross collabs and like shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think Nick Young was like a good pioneer for like dressing swaggy of his time, because even like I think the whole swaggy P was like, wasn't it like born off like the Versace shirt that he wore and like the red
Oh
foam
yeah.
posits that he played with in the playoffs against Memphis, unless I'm mistaken. But
Uh-huh.
I'm like, that was hella of that time. Those weren't even necessarily trends. Like foam posits are still sick. Like in the
Yeah.
90s when Penny was wearing them, and they're, I mean, nowadays if I seen like some dude pull up with some foam posits, it's a little bit questionable, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it was trendy in 2012. That was like a foam posit's like a foam posit's like, that's like a
Mhm.
staple in footwear, whatever. So he's like really good like dressing like of his time, even to the point where like when he was with like Golden State in like those last days, like it wasn't like he was wearing like what was trending over there? The freaking huge Balenciaga shoes, probably. It
Bro,
wasn't like
yeah.
he was
Oh yeah,
wearing
the
them
the
freaking
big
huge, but he wasn't
Balenciaga
doing that.
shoes, biker
Yeah. He
jeans.
was not doing, and you know what I'm saying? He wasn't doing
Nah.
any of that. He was still like just being like Nick Young, swaggy, like
Bro,
pulling up a freaking
fashion moved
robe.
super fast. Like you remember when we did like the Mellow Wade pause, and it was so funny looking at their fits from like 2004 because they looked so ridiculous compared to today. But like honestly, the first all LeagueFits team was 2018. Um, and like I think if we took those pictures from that team and like try to put them up for today's League Fits teams, everyone would be like, this shit whack. Like League Fit, like
Mhm.
fashion just moves so quickly, trends and things like that. Like that was like 4 years ago.
Yeah,
But like I think you could like I was looking at Nick Young's like outfits from like that Warrior season, like 2018. Bro,
still
if he
hard.
was wearing those today, they still so fire. And you
And
and
he
I,
has
that's our whole
moments
thing, right?
too.
And
Yeah,
he has moments wearing the Baron
yeah,
Davis jersey to the playoff game,
yeah.
wearing the
Mhm.
robe to the
The
parade.
robe with the
Like
yep.
Nick Young, like, yeah, as I'm not gonna lie, I first saw like I'm like, crazy person is being crazy on the internet again, you know?
Mhm.
Um, but then I was like, damn, I was looking through the old pictures and I was like, Nick would probably be because there's so many stylists, right? I was like, Nick would probably be the best basketball stylist.
You know what I will reiterate um that too, just from from the simple fact that like I like when basketball stylists can like draw from experience. Same with like basketball coaches, bruh. I guess I don't
Yeah,
want to go too much down a rabbit hole, but I feel like I've had respect for like all the coaches that I've like had to play under. But it's
of
like the
course.
ones that like hooped and they know like where I'm at with it, like the
Yeah.
frustration that I'm at. Those are the ones where I feel like I play harder for, or even like have a little bit more respect for. So to bring it over into like the fashion world, like, bro, basketball stylist, like when we had Chloe on here, I'm like, bro, she was hooping. So like I feel like if like she's like I feel like I
She
like
was on
respect.
League Fits herself.
Yeah, she's on League Fits herself. I'm like, I feel like I have like a
Yeah.
little bit more respect for like basketball stylists who used to hoop too. So if Nick Young decided to hop in the game, and he could easily, I feel like he can easily style some people, bro. I feel like he would be like the swaggiest basketball stylist, most impactful basketball
Yeah.
stylist in the league.
He needs to get a few. We talked about this like a month ago, but like he was like, I need to style Jordan Poole. He was saying it in the League Fits comments.
Mm,
That has to happen. That's like the perfect client. Bay Area shit.
hmm.
Like good looking dude. You know, similar build to Nick.
Yeah, and there's a whole generation of hoopers who come from that, bro. Like even just AAU
Yeah.
ball, like like the Nick Young was like the dude in the league. I feel like we're just like giving Nick Young his flowers, which I'm so like
I
on
know,
par
I
with.
know.
But
I hope he
Nick
doesn't listen
Young,
to this. Nick Young, come on this podcast so we could say you suck and you know
yeah,
you equate it out.
and level the playing field. But no,
Yeah.
for real though, Nick Young was really the dude in the league who was really like had the burst fade, mohawk joint. He was the dude with like the tights and
Dog.
like the cool like retro sneakers. I'm like, I remember pulling up to AAU tryouts on like the south side in San Jose, and this dude had like a burst fade, and I was like, this dude trying to be Nick Young so bad. But like that's really him though. Like he really did do that. So like I say all that to say, I feel like that whole generation that like he helped like usher into style from like basketball. I'm sure he can like handpick a few people in the league who came from that generation and just like kill it as far as like their like wardrobe.
Yeah. Dude,
And
I wanted to
yeah,
be Nick
like
Young. Like when I was in college playing intramurals and shit, like I would come off the bench Like
Yeah,
my name and our like, do you remember GroupMe? That was like the group message app back in the day before people just used iMessage all the time.
for
Like my
sure.
name was Swaggy P in the GroupMe, and like when I like made threes, I would like do like the swag walk up the court and shit. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
dude. But yeah, anyway, I was looking through all this shit yesterday. I was looking through all the old Nick Young photos, ready to be like, yeah, see, some of this shit was kind of whack. Like, let's be honest. You know what I mean? Because shit's not, the fashion stuff is not always how you remember it to be. And I was just
Mhm.
so wrong. I was like, nah, this is so still. If any player showed up in 2022 looking and being dressed like this, it would be fire. Um,
Yeah.
so
And another thing, I just really want to reiterate
flowers.
real quick too. Yeah, okay, I guess we're even more flowers. We'll end it, I guess,
Yeah.
after this. But I really respect when like, because that's really who he is, though. And there's other dudes like that in the NBA too. Like Kelly Oubre Jr. I think what made him so cool was like the way that he dressed was like the way that he played. Same with like Russell Westbrook, very erratic,
Yeah.
very like I don't give a crap. Same way he dressed, same way he plays. So like Nick Young was like, I feel like he was the dude who I would always reference. So it was like homie's just like forever in a flow state. Like when he's on the court,
Yeah.
it's just all pure read and react. I don't know the play. Cool, I'm just gonna shoot it. Like that's really and like that's kind of like how he like dressed too. It's just like I don't care. I'm just like hella cool, California
Facts.
swag. Like that. I'm like, bro, it works for him so perfectly. Like, but yeah.
Bro, we gotta get
Shout out
here.
Nick
We
Young.
gotta get him and Josh Christopher together.
Oh yeah, a perfect example right there, bro.
Because
Perfect
they
example.
know
He
each
would kill
other.
it. Kill it.
Josh
He would
used to
kill it.
play on Nick's Drew League team back in the day.
Most hated
Also,
or
like
no?
when Josh
Or-
was in high school, I was like, oh, he's the next Nick Young. And like Josh is
Mhm.
obviously still super cool, but he's kind of like fallen into the just the Shea Gillis Alexander silhouette every night. I don't know if you've noticed that.
Okay.
Like the baggy jeans, the really
I was
big
gonna say I feel like
hoodie.
he wears really loud baggage.
Yeah.
And he
I
has a
actually thought like Josh Christopher kind of dressed cooler last year, but like he and Nick Young could like dress Josh in a parallel way to he dressed himself and it wouldn't like be weird. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Because
I
if
don't think it
Nick
would at all.
dressed like Kyle Anderson, like it probably wouldn't make sense.
Hmm.
But like Nick could dress Josh and it would LeagueFits MVP done.
Yeah. Also, send my shout out to Kyle Anderson because I used to have the nickname Slow Mo too in high school. So my heart goes out to Kyle
Why are
Anderson.
you slow?
No, we were playing this game and I caught the ball on the baseline during the game and I like went to the baseline and I hit a floater. The other team called a timeout and it was the slowest looking thing ever. There's no
Yeah.
footage from it, unfortunately. But as soon as I got to the bench and after I scored, my huddle was just like, Joe, that was the slowest move I've ever seen. And like from sophomore year to like senior year, it was just like slow mo Joe. That was it. Anybody who saw me was like slow mo Joe. And it was just what it was.
That's a
But yeah,
baller.
send my shout out. Yeah, send my shout out, Kyle Anderson. But yeah, I agree with you on that, bro. I agree with you on that.
Okay. Let's talk about. We didn't get to talk about this last week because Jalen was on the pod and we were too busy getting Shea Gillis Alexander shopping stories. But Raph Simmons announced that his next line is going to be his last. Like the actual Raph Simmons, the brand, like the person is still alive. Raph.
Yeah.
Like there's a guy named Raph. But the line is coming to an end after the next collection.
Mhm.
And if you guys aren't like super familiar with Raph Simmons, the pink sweater that Kyle Kuzma wore, the famous sweater, that was Raph Simmons.
Any
I don't
ASAP
know.
Rocky cadence finishes with the word Raph Simmons in 2000.
Please don't touch my Raph.
Yeah, please,
Wrapped up on camera, wrapped up like rappers.
Yeah.
So I kind of just flowers. This is a flowers episode. Flowers.
This is
flowers,
a flowers.
flowers.
Yeah, this is definitely a flowers episode. 100%.
Raph makes like a lot of like big stuff. So when I was styling Miles last year, we did a lot of Raph Simmons, just like even like basic shit like trousers and stuff.
Yeah.
And I hit him up and I was like, bro, keep all your Raph stuff. I was like, I don't know anything about stocks. I don't know anything about Bitcoin. I don't know anything about investing. But I think holding on to our Raph Simmons gear is the fashion boy Bitcoin.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Like, I was
That's
like, hold
insane.
on to your Raph. Like one day in like 15 years, there's going to be a 13-year-old
Who
like
wants Raph
New
Simmons
York
who can't-
Soho kid who's like, I need archive Raph. And like,
You got
that's
it.
your retirement fund right there. Like your like Raph Simmons sweater, that's your Bitcoin.
Mhm.
I
think
literally
that's-
like, went on Grailed right away and just started like searching for raft stuff. I was like, what can I invest in and hold on to sell one day? And I realized I didn't really have enough money. I do have one pair of Raf Simons denim shorts though, and I took them off of a Grail to hold on to. You know, that's my retirement. That's my retirement plan. One day those are gonna be archived.
Oh, maybe not sentimental. Never mind. It's very monetary, but
very monetary. That's my Bitcoin.
I thought you was gonna be like,
I don't have my savings account is super dry, but don't worry, my break piggy bank because I have the Raf shorts.
Yeah, 100%. No, I was thinking about this too. It's a trip, bro. When like things that are so huge like just stop and end, and it made me like think about like when Kobe passed away, and like how Kobe's like sneakers were like so like coveted. Cause I'm like, bro, these aren't some like Kobe, like the Kobe line wasn't like, it wasn't like, you know what I'm saying? I'm blanking on the word, but it wasn't like, I'm blanking on the word, but it wasn't like put out to be some Yeezys. Like it wasn't, it was very, the
Kobe's
whole point was
weren't
for
on
it to be accessible.
StockX.
Yeah, it was like it was like you walk into the Nike
you could go to
store,
Foot Locker and get Kobe's. Yeah.
100%. So I always thought it was so crazy. I'm like, yo, how did you guys manage to make this like a sought after rare commodity when like the supply was so freaking huge? I'm like, bro, every freaking House of Hoops in America had nothing but Kobe's 8s when they came out. So like, I just thought that was crazy. So I say the same for like Raf Simons, because Raf Simons obviously high end brand.
Yeah,
but it isn't
you can get
necessarily.
Raf
You can get
Dover Street
Raf.
Market.
You can go to Dover Street Market and get Raf.
All that.
Yeah, so I just thought I was so crazy. But also, do we know why he's stopping, or is it just like?
Well, he's like a creative director at I believe Prada. So, you know, he's just doing other things. Also, I think it's one of those things where like, because you know how like inevitably like most brands eventually become corny. Like you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Yeah.
Balenciaga. Then I think he was like, I think I'm just gonna die the hero.
What did Kurt Cobain? I mean, not to get too dark, but that suicide note he wrote. What did he say something like that on the suicide note? It's like it's better to burn out than fade away or something like that. I guess it's kind of like the same parallel in a way.
Which is facts, so it's facts. That's facts. Not to be morbid, but
yeah, I don't want to get too dark on here, but dang, bro.
Yeah.
Raf Simons. I have no Raf Simons in my closet. But
flowers.
Still
flowers. I think the most famous LeagueFits moment ever, rivaled by only the Tom Brown suit shorts, was Kuzma's pink sweater. And I think Kuzma's pink sweater wins. Rival? So
yeah, probably actually.
Yeah, I'd say the pink sweater probably wins in terms of virality. So flowers.
Yeah, shout out Raf Simons, bro. Love to see it going on, do bigger and better things. Love to see it. Not to transition too hard off that, but I did want to mention something funny that happened to me last night. I kind of mentioned it before the podcast. I think it's like a little lighthearted way to end, but dudes really be out here lying about their height. Can we talk? Like, that's crazy, dog. Like, that's actually crazy, dog.
All right, tell your story.
All right, so yesterday we were hooping. I'm not gonna say no names, but yesterday we were hooping, and homie's a little younger too, and he has like hoop dreams for real. So I'm not even gonna bash dude, but we were hooping, and I was getting busy, bro. Like we were winning games. I'm feeling good. My legs underneath me, my elbows on the rim. I'm in a flow state. Like I'm playing good. And at the end of it, I like get like some treatment on my calves because like my calf, but like the inside of my calf and like tighten it up. So I'm on the foam roller, and the other dude he wasn't guarding me, but the other dude on the other team was just like dunking crazy, and he's shorter than me. I'm pretty sure it's one of those things where like I don't mind like measuring you next to me, but like we just hooped against each other, and I'm pretty sure you might be shorter than me. But he's like dunking like crazy. And then he was like, "Hey Joe, you want to know like my secret to how I dunk?" Which is actually kind of funny in some regard. And I was like, "Oh wait, like what's like your crazy workout plan?" He's like, "Nah, I just be getting sturdy like every day. Like I just be getting sturdy. Like my knees be strong because I just be getting sturdy every day." And I'm like, "All right, for sure, bro." I was like, "Do your thing." And then I asked him, because he really is done. I'm like, I asked him like, "Yo, how tall are you?" And he's like, "I'm like 6'1". I'm like, "Oh." Like, bro, you for sure like 5'10 and a half. Like you a good 5'10 on a great day.
Also, it's like, better to if you're dunking, it's cooler to say you're shorter.
Yeah, and I had to and I try to hint at that too. So like I was like, it's crazy, bro. There's like really some like good short dunkers out here. And I actually met this dude. His name is like Eyes on Height on Instagram. He's like some 5'6" dunker I met in Los Angeles one time. And I pulled up his Instagram and I showed him. I was like, "Yo, this dude's like 5'6", and he's like punching it." And he's like, "Yeah." And then he was like, "Yeah, it's crazy like how short people be trying to dunk." I'm like, "Bro, you are a short." I'm like, "You are. That is you. Like that is literally you, bro. You are lying about your height." Like, but it's crazy though, bro. Like how dudes really be out here lying about their height. Like that's actually
Dude,
insane.
and it sucks because dudes that lie about their height, it makes everyone have to lie about their height. He's like, you know how like
Mm.
if a dude says he's 6 foot, you're like, he 5'10.
Yeah,
It's
that's a
like
good point.
like that little Dicky lyric. He's like, I'm just 5'10, and then it's like the ad lib is like 6 foot on Tinder.
Yeah. Okay.
Like
For
it's
sure.
like that, and that sucks, right? So like me, for example, I'm 6 foot and half an inch,
Okay.
so I'm close enough to 6'1". Like
Hmm.
full transparency here. Like this is like balls to the wall, getting my physical. Like this is how tall I am. I'm 6 foot and half an inch. But like I can never say I'm 6 foot because like say like on Hinge or like a dating app or something. Because you
Hmm.
can like list your height now. I can never say I'm 6 foot because everyone that sees that is gonna assume I'm 5'10".
Oh wow. So we're
Because
all living a lie.
all the yeah, it's all like crazy, because then all the 5'10" guys are lying. If they weren't lying, I would just probably just say 6 foot, right? But
Yeah,
I
that's
know
facts.
that all the 5'10" guys are saying 6 foot, and they can't guard me in the post. They are smaller than me.
He said they are small. They are a small human being. I kind of have
So
that same
I
thing.
have to say 6'1". And
Yeah.
it's because of the liars. Like men really just we did ourselves.
Yeah, you did yourself. We did ourselves
And
in. But
we lie about a thing that's so easy to know.
yeah, very true.
Like you
But
could
I
just
was
stand next to like, oh, you 6 foot, stand next to Joe, who on his physical is 6 foot,
and
and you'll
he
be
yeah,
shorter.
exactly. That was the thing too. And I was on the ground when he said it too. And I'm like, he said he was 6'1". I'm like, I'm not gonna hold you. Like I'm literally 6 feet 6'1" with basketball shoes on. I was so scared to
That's
stand up because I didn't want to expose him. And I was like, I'm just gonna keep
that's
you.
crazy. It's also cooler to be short and dunk. When I dunk, which I know nobody believes I used to dunk, but when I was able to dunk for like a year, I actually lied and said I was shorter. I was
Yeah,
the
I took
same height. I've
pride in
been the
it.
same height.
Yeah.
I've been my same height since like my junior year in high school. And but when I was able to dunk, which was my senior year, and a little bit of my freshman year of college, I would tell people, I'm like, nah, shit, like no biggie, like I'm 5'10".
5'10", you feel me? Like I hate you,
Yeah,
bro.
people like, damn, you just barely taller than Nate Robinson. I'm like, yeah, I know. As I'm like looking down on them.
Yeah, exactly. Bro, let's just stop living a lie, guys. Let's just say what our heights are, man. Come on, dog.
Fellas, let's say our heights.
All right, man. That's a beautiful way to end it. Also, shout
I'm
out Chrome Hearts for
5'11".
never lying about their height. And to the color purple for changing my life for the better.
What? Wait,
I
what
don't
color
know.
purple?
We're shout out to the color purple.
All right,
Leave it
yeah,
at
shout
that.
out the color
Yeah,
purple.
thank you. All right, guys. That's been another episode of Survival Fitted, episode 115 in the books. If you love to see it, peace and love.
I'ma get it cause I got my reasons. On the ground to my heart.